Thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be at EcoSummit. So, a virtual layer digital infrastructure is that we're building at Decarbonize, and in the morning I wasn't quite sure whether it's for the German ecosystem or for the other ones as well. Right in the title, so it's the energy systems. Sorry for that. So we're Berlin-based, FTE 12, late-stage siege, software startup. We have built traction since we started in 2022, so that you get an idea about where we are. So building digital infrastructure for the energy sector as a virtual distribution system operator means you need to connect with the existing networks, which is the transmission systems. There are 4 of them in Germany connected. Then there are 800 distribution system operators which you want to overlay, building your national layer to 80% of population, basically networks were already connected. That's 160 DSOs. There are utilities using that platform. This is not about e-mobility, who knows decarbonize a little bit longer alone, but beyond. Funds raised to date, 4 million, late seed stage, A round coming 26 or 27, and still lean, and I want to stress that because I think it's quite remarkable what we have achieved so far. So 20 million assets in Germany alone, heat pumps, batteries, storage, distributed all across the country. So there's a lot of gigawatt and gigawatt scale flexibility that you want to unlock to, well, do what things do when the wind blows, sun shines, etc. You know about that. Now, AI-wise, the optimization job, if you have variable prices, different consumer requests, if you have even time variable network levies, it's a lot to optimize. So ideally, you would involve an AI to do that. So therefore, AI-driven optimization for that future. 20 million assets. You don't do that with an Excel sheet, obviously, right? So now, what does AI require? Yeah, this future we're thinking, okay, there is a platform, there are all these assets, we will optimize. How does that even work? These assets we're talking about are behind someone else's meters, and they are in silos that are local DSOs. Yeah, so it's easily wanted just because an asset has an IP address to have some data set per asset that is consistent and coherent and delivers everything you want for making an AI look at it and say, oh yeah, that's the way. So what happens where, when, why potentially, that's difficult. So you need to scale, yeah, horizontally, if you think in a national platform for assets, and you also need to scale vertically behind the meter. So you want to know what happens inside someone else's premises with the car or the truck or in the depot behind the meter. And the meter is kind of a paywall. So virtual meters, which virtual networks can deliver, can solve that problem. So make asset data monetizable, addressable in a virtual network nationwide. So 800 DSOs for horizontal scaling is a problem. Think of silos, jurisdictions, bureaucracies even. And making that become one, yeah, that was one too far, is what we did until now, yeah, building the platform layer for horizontal scale and going behind the meter with virtual metering points behind is something that also needed to be done. To split the bill to make assets addressable individually behind the meter. Now, building that digital infrastructure that eventually increases efficiency of the overall system is the mission. And having one API to address all the assets, although they are on various networks, physically and behind someone else's meter serving normally as a paywall, make it basically transparent for monetization. That's what we need to do. So application-wise, yeah, speaking about traction. So Germany as a country, for example, opted into the system, yeah, by making a requirement for truck charging to have mobile virtual meters associated with trucks so that trucks actually can bring their own power. Amazon, for example, can purchase their electricity centrally and then in their depot, in an E.ON depot, say, they might charge their own electricity. Yeah, or you bring your Octopus or Lichtblick tariff to an EnBW charger, for example. Yeah, this is a tender requirement. Yeah, it's not a requirement for everyone everywhere immediately, but since it is a national infrastructure being built, that's quite a nice milestone. When I talk about addressable markets, this, by the way, is about gross transactional value. So basically the cost of all electricity consumed in this application. What works with trucks also works with cars. It works at work. Bring your private electricity to work with a mobile virtual meter. It works the other way around. You can also have mobile virtual feed-in meters, feeding in private electricity at work or work electricity at home. Basically, you detach the address of an asset from the physical point of delivery for better monetization behind someone else's meter. Yeah, virtualization enables the mobility aspect, but it doesn't end there. Yeah, you can also split the bill from an immersion heater from the overall consumption of a house, giving a special price for containment, something that we do with Onovia. You can split bills from shared rooftop. It's everywhere the recurring basically topic is you wanted to have a second smart meter and a third smart meter, but what you really can have from us is a virtual metering address that we feed with data from asset consumption or production, map it on a format that can scale and makes it accessible for existing market processes. This is difficult stuff, yeah, so I invite you to ask for more. Yeah, if you're interested, what you should remember is there are real-world DSOs, and you can build a digital overlay structure for that. That is operational, and it is not limited to region, but scales as transmission system size, and it makes behind-the-meter assets addressable. So you can even have two. Yeah, if you have a co-located storage behind one grid connection point, you can have transactions on the storage running on multiple ledgers of different parties, yeah, for better optimization. So these are just some applications. These are not academic. They're all up and running, yeah, with partners in different networks across Germany. And to conclude, I show you a selection of connected players. Yeah, there are a number of more under NDA, but this is the variety. So there are suppliers, there are aggregators, there are VPPs, there are storage locator, rooftop developers, suppliers. Basically, they all have in common to say, hey, I could talk to 800 with outdated interfaces and cannot go behind the meter, or I have a national abstraction layer that serves as one-stop shop, provides me unified AI, and is basically more powerful because I can go behind the meter. And with that, I would like to conclude and encourage you to get in touch.